Johnny Diamond, and welcome to World Questions, the programme that puts people at the heart of the debate with questions from across the globe. Our partner is the British Council, which connects the UK and the world through arts, culture, education and the English language. This month it's the big questions and answers about Pakistan, a country with the fifth largest population in the world, so many of them young, so many of them poor, and now so many of them affected by terrible floods that have left, the government says, a third of the country underwater. This nuclear power was wrestling with a dire economic crisis even before the heavens opened, with foreign currency running out and inflation tearing through vital sectors of the economy. On top of the economic and environmental challenges sits political instability, a new government with a wafer-thin majority. With me to answer the questions put to them by a concerned public, all of them under 30 years old, is a panel of brilliant young experts and politicians from around the country. Rehan Zeb Khan is chair of the Tribal Youth Forum, member of the Prime Minister's National Youth Council. I think you've been helping out with flood relief, haven't you, Rehan? Thank you very much for taking a bit of time for us. The glaciers of Pakistan are sometimes called the third pole of the world. They contain so much water and they have been receding as the world has warmed. Let's go first of all to Rehan in Islamabad. You have a particular interest, I know, in this because you're part of a Water Resources Council, aren't you? You've spent a lot of time about this. What can communities, the government and other NGOs do to help with this situation, Rehan?
Johnny, the climate change is accelerating and having severe consequences for Pakistan. As you know, Pakistan is geologically located in a region where the effect of the climate change are being felt fairly strongly as compared to other. The climate disaster has had enormous economic, social and environmental consequences. Statistic from 2010 flood demonstrate the devastating effect on the 20 million individuals who lost their homes, were injured and went missing. Similarly, in 2012 flood, another caused havoc in Pakistan. And now this flood has broken all previous records. Millions of people were displaced, thousands died, thousands were injured, major roads and buildings were washed away. $1 billion of worth of infrastructure of the country was damaged. So climate change is the biggest threats for Pakistan: income, housing, food and security. Due to rising temperature, glaciers in Pakistan, especially in the northern Gilgit-Baltistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region, melting rapidly. The impact of the climate change in Pakistan in recent past, it can be estimated that Pakistan will be the most affected by the climate change in the future, and the climate change will destroy Pakistan. So our government takes step hard, especially the previous government, the Imran Khan government, taking very seriously step to address this issue, and he the biggest step, he planted billions of trees to protect the climate change for Pakistan. And also he done a lot. So this is the time that not only government but the local NGOs, community leaders like us, we also working hard in this sector. In my area in Bajol, in the rural Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Lower Dir, we planted million of trees in the view of the billion tree tsunami. So this is our responsibility, that we work together with the government and to address this issue.
Thank you very much for your question, and thank you for calling in and making sure that we could hear your voice. I'm going to move on to our next question. This question was asked various times in various different ways. None of the questioners who put it to us actually wanted to come on in person. I will read out one of the versions. Why is the army involved in our politics. Today's young generation does not want the army to enter political parties. It's worth pointing out there have been, 3 long periods of military rule in Pakistan. The army and the military have extensive commercial interests, and support of the military is often seen as critical to political success. Rehan, the Prime Minister who was recently fell, Imran Khan, came to power in 2018 with the full-throated support of the military, but he appeared to fall out with them in the years that followed. Is it fair to say that the army is heavily involved in politics? Why do you think that might be the case?
Johnny, it's very important to understand first that the primary function of the armed force is to protect the national border and ensure the security of the state. Apart from this, the civilian government has to be assisted in emergency situations like floods, epidemic. That's what the Pakistan Army is doing. But unfortunately, very unfortunately, the system is upside down in Pakistan. Our weak parliament system and corrupt politicians have always provided an opportunity for the military in Pakistan to interface in politics directly. Ever since I was born, I have seen only 2 families ruling in Pakistani politics. These people have always provided an opportunity for the army to intervene for their personal interest. So this is the reason why even today people in Pakistan considered the army as the government. As you know, the ex-Prime Minister, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, blamed Pakistan Army openly for kicking him out. And now, after just a few months back, they are openly support the army. So this is what the politician, provided opportunity to the army to take over, to interfere in the politics. So we, the youth of Pakistan, are very in shock with the role of our politician as the use army for their own.
When you say the establishment, Rehan, do you mean the military?
This establishment mean Pakistan Army and along with the bureaucracy.
Thank you very much indeed. I think it's worth pointing out, as the audience will gather. Let's go on to our next question. Pakistan produces around 500,000 graduates every year. Thousands of them are left unemployed. How should the government address this problem? Graduate unemployment is just over 30% in Pakistan. 2 somewhat different opinions there. Amar, who says essentially the system needs to be torn down, and Maria, who says serious reforms made to the education system. Rehan, can I ask you your opinion? How should the government address the problem of graduate unemployment? As I say, more than 30% of graduates unemployed.
As my colleague mentioned, that the unemployment, and especially millions of unemployed graduates, is the big challenge for Pakistan at this time. Pakistan Institute of Development Economics say that over 35% of the Pakistan youth are currently unemployed. Out of this, 51% are female, 61% are male, with many of them holding professional degrees. Unemployed people can be dangerous for the well-being of Pakistan. The unemployed youth of Pakistan are getting frustrated and falling prey to drugs, thieves, violence, and many other social evils, and especially in my area in the rural Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in the newly merged tribal district. What is more said is that the terrorists and drug traffickers are engaging them in evil activities. It is our misfortune that our political leaders in the parliament have spent their entire lives blaming each other in the parliament, and yet no adequate policy has been made for the unemployed educated youth of Pakistan. Successive governments have tried to address this challenge, but their outdated approach has not brought lasting change. Instead of eliminating government job, the government sector should focus on creating an enabling environment for private firm and businesses to create unemployment